Yeah, we are all here. So I would just like to apprise you that reading from the paper is not allowed. Reading from the paper would lead to -2 in the total marking. If you speak for less than 2.5 minutes, for every 10 seconds spoken less, 1 mark will be deducted. For every 1 minute spoken more than 3 minutes 10 seconds, 1 mark will be deducted there. And after you've completed 2 minutes 30 seconds, I'll be giving a sort of audio indication like a table tap. So you'll be able to know that you have to now start wrapping up. After at 3 minutes, there will be a sort of beep that will sound, and after 3 minutes and 10 seconds, 1 mark will start it be deducting every 10 minutes. Sorry, every 1 minute. So okay, at I'll give a lead of 3-1, and ma'am, if I'm not wrong, Adya is speaking for the motion, right?
Vagisha chose to speak for the motion,
Okay,
Aryan.
okay. So, Vagisha, on the lead of 3-1,
Before that, so just a second. Before that, can you just give the indication again of what sound will you make when 2 minutes, 2 minutes? So this is not audible that much. Can you do like make it a little louder?
Can you clap? That's
Yeah,
better.
this would
okay, so I'll
just
clap at two and a
that
half minutes.
yeah, just clap twice so that I know because I'd speak loud or something, right? So
Okay, so on my lead of 3-1, please start. 3-2-1, start.
Christopher Dodd said, and I quote, "We learned that economic growth and environmental protection can and should go hand in hand." Greetings to the House at large. The motion for today states, should we ban mining in the interest of the environment? And I, Vagisha Chaudhary, firmly stands for this motion. I have divided for the House to understand better my speech into three main parts: social, environmental, and economic aspects. Moving on with the economical aspects, the occupation mining is mostly referred as dirty and dusty as compared to other occupations generally, and there are n number of reasons to that. Nowadays, mining was very profitable sector for the economic development in the world, but unfortunately, in the other way, it harms the society and the environment. Means that along with development, it creates the social cost to the society which we cannot afford. Because of mining, the haters has there have been many haters, and as known, mining creates the environmental damage to the society. As I said, it may affect the local livelihood in many ways, like health hazards, forest loss, negative impacts on agriculture, and it basically destroys the natural resources of the mine. We have found mining can negatively affect people by the following ways. It could force them from to leave homes and their land. It prevents them from accessing clean land and water, which is a basic necessity, ladies and gentlemen. It impacts their health and livelihoods. It causes divisions in the communities. It causes division in the society, which does not benefit any way to anyone. And charging the social dynamics of a community, it also affects that. It just exposes them to harassment by mining or the government security, which just think you would be harassed just because people want the land for their occupation, which is mining. And the environmental effects, as we all know, are many. The impacts are exasperated when local people aren't consulted and are not even given the information to leave their house to plan some mining construction. Even worse happens when people are not given a say on whether to or not to mine in the developed area that they live in. And the potential benefits that mining brings to a community can be undermined if secrecy surrounds the people of the payment they have to make, of the cost they have to deliver. And moving on to the social aspects, then I'll complete my speech, is the gender impacts of mining. Women are so aggressively harassed, and I just give examples of that. Women aren't consulted when companies negotiate access to the land, compensates, and benefits. When mining damages the environment, it ultimately undermines women's ability to provide food and clean water to their families because they just restrict that. A transient male force work can bring increased alcohol, sex workers, and violence into a community, which can affect women's safety and mental health. I'd like to conclude by saying that unless we keep this planet healthy, everything else is for a naught. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Vagisha. Now, Adya, you get 90 seconds to prepare.
Okay, sir, I'm ready. I can start when you say.
So, on my lead of, are you comfortable with the table tap or I should clap?
Anything is okay, sir.
Okay, so on the lead of 3, 2, 1, please start. 3, 2, 1, start.
So, good afternoon to the House at large. I would like to first begin by stating why the proposition speech was extremely irrelevant. The first thing would be that the proposition completely deviated from the topic, talking about whether mining is good or not in terms of workplace respect and how the workers are treated. However, this is so unrelated because the motion today is catering to the impact that mining has on the environment and whether that should be legally banned or not. Secondly, the argument my opponent gave is that mining is dirty and dusty as a profession, which completely disregards the numerous economic benefits it has also for the workers themselves and the economy as a whole. Then she said that mining forces workers to leave their homes and harms their livelihood. However, I fail to understand how employing people and giving them wages does not help them live a better life, because obviously when someone gets wages for the work they do and gets employed, it directly impacts the great livelihood they thereby get to have. Then we need to take into consideration that just because something may have the smallest bit of harmful effect, we can't ban it completely. What is needed is judicious planning, which needs to come over legal banning. Let's take an example. For example, there is a phone and a screen time. A very basic example is that your screen time hampers your eyesight. Does that mean we should ban phones as a device and completely boycott them? No, right? It means that we educate people on how to use it judiciously and find better technologies to improve this. Now, judicious planning is what needs to come here over the legal banning. If the banning is the alternative, then the Paris Agreement would not have would have banned, in fact, all carbon emissions coming out of planes and other vehicles. But that's not done, right? Because it's not practical. Responsibility needs to take precedence. Now, mining is needed for globalization, industrialization, and to take the country and the world economy ahead. What is important is to enable the right kind of governance to ensure that it is not only, but to ensure that it is only legalized mining that takes place and not illegal mining. The mining of various natural resources also supports the creation of products which help in so many aspects of life. Many countries need mining not only to thrive, but to simply survive in the economy. At least 70 countries in the world are extremely dependent on mining as an industry. So there's a huge impact on the economy. We need to teach people not to run from things, but how to use them in a proper manner. Energy panels, fertilizers, wind turbines all require mining. Transport, infrastructure, jewelry, power are also impacted by it. The real solution here is to gain responsibility and develop technologies to further reduce this. A study done by Yale has specifically said that not one metal has a substitute which can be given. Therefore, banning mining is not an option. What we need is responsible usage and the right way, which is the only way we can go from here. And here I rest my case. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your speeches. Just allow ma'am a minute and then she'll share her feedback.
I'm ready with the results, Aryan. Would you like me to give them away?
No, ma'am, the results will be shared in the closing ceremony. You can give your feedback.
Okay. So wonderful to hear both of you. very strong arguments given on both sides. And although we know that the argument against the motion, actually, there wasn't any argument against the motion, and still the participant managed to dig out something. Very well spoken, both of you. Just a small feedback. When it comes to, and this will help you in future also, when it comes to finally deciding on a contestant, your sophistication of arguments is what matters. And what contributes to the sophistication of your arguments is good use of grammar and synonyms. So, my suggestion is you children displayed good vocabulary, but if you could polish your grammar and find just the relevant word to articulate what you, I mean, it's a long term process, but it really, really helps because when it, you know how they say it, when you have to separate the milk from the water or the grain from the chaff, then your pronunciation, your grammar, your vocabulary really is something that will give you an upper hand. So very well spoken, both of you. I did not see even a hint of uh, you know trying to hold back anything or not being confident enough. I didn't see that in either of the participants. Must have been a grueling debate so far for you guys to have emerged. Very well spoken, both of you. It was really enjoyable. Thank you.